Are you a liberal?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
All right.
Okay, step up to the mic.
Hello.
What's up? Do you agree with this sign right here?
Yeah, I disagree with that one. Do you have any other signs?
Yeah, men can't be women right over there.
Let's talk about that one.
Okay, step right up. Make sure everyone can hear you.
Hello.
Yep. You might want to get a little closer, but
okay.
kind of got
Can you hear me?
Mic, unfortunately. Yeah, can hear you.
All right. So, men can't be women.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean that men can't be women.
Okay, what's a man?
Yeah, a man is defined as an adult human female. Or sorry, an adult human male. A man is a man is defined as an adult human male.
Okay. What do you mean by male?
Yeah, so male is defined as a person who falls into the sexual category capable of producing sperm.
Gotcha. And I assume that a woman would then be an adult human female.
An adult human female. A female
eggs.
is somebody who falls in the sexual category capable of producing ova.
Gotcha. We can get into like what capable is, but I think an important distinction to make, because I assume you're anti-trans rights as well, if that's what you mean by that.
What do you mean by trans rights?
So like that people should be recognized as what they identify as.
I'm not against people being allowed to be recognized as what they want to be. I'm against me being forced to recognize what they want to be.
Okay. Would you recognize someone who claims to be a man who isn't? Okay. Who isn't a male? You would say no?
No, because I don't lie to people.
Okay. What makes it a lie?
Because it's not true.
Because
a man, an adult human male, pretending to be an adult human female, they're not an adult human female, right? They can't produce ova. They don't fall into the sexual category capable of producing ova. Therefore, they're not a female and they're not a woman.
Okay.
So they're a man. So I would not call them a woman because that would be lying. And I also don't believe in feeding people's mental illnesses. So I don't tell schizophrenic people the voices in their head should be followed. I also don't tell bulimic or anorexic women that they're actually fat and give them dietary plans.
Okay. Do you think when a trans woman says, I'm a woman, she's talking about being a biological female?
From what I've understood from talking to many trans people, especially on the West Coast, which is where I'm from, yes, they believe that they are the same as a woman. They believe that they should be accepted in all of the same spaces. They believe that they should be looked at the same. Okay,
well, looked at the same, accepted in the same spaces are two different claims from what you were saying, which is that they would be able to produce an ovum. Do you think
being the same and being looked at the same. So if you expect me to look at you the same, that would mean that you'd have to be the same. I'm not going to look at you as something that you're not. You're a human being. I'm not looking at you as a dog.
Gotcha.
Right?
Do you mind if I hold you to the same standard that you previously said in the
Absolutely.
debate? Okay, so to be a woman then would be someone who makes or is capable of making ovum.
Nope. Falls into the sexual category capable of producing ova. So women as a sex can produce ova. There might be outliers in that situation, but the outliers still fall into the sexual category capable of producing ova.
Gotcha. Do you think trans women are claiming they fit into that category?
They're claiming that they're women, and that's the definition of women.
Right. Do you think it's impossible that they just have a different definition of woman?
Well, this is the Oxford definition. So if you say you're a woman, but you mean you're
Oxford dictionary, right?
If I say I'm a man, but when I say I'm a man, I actually mean I'm a tree, right? You see the problem there? These words mean things. The Oxford definition of a woman is an adult human female. The Oxford definition of a female is a person who falls into the sexual category capable of producing ova. Men cannot be women.
Sure, I can understand that there can be differences in definitions between two people. Do you accept that?
It's possible.
Okay. So why is it that you're making the claim that there isn't a difference in definitions?
Because they're not qualifying what they mean when they say woman. They're simply saying, I am a woman as it means to you. You must refer to me as a woman.
I don't think anyone's making the claim that regardless of what your definition of woman is, they are a woman.
Wait. So are they saying, I'm a woman, but when I say woman, I actually mean something completely different than you? Or are they saying, I am a woman, and you must refer to me as such as you would refer to any other woman under your definition?
I would say...
Their private spaces, right? They're not just claiming that I'm
irrelevant.
A woman. How's that irrelevant? Your definition of what a woman is, or somebody else's definition of what a woman is, has policy impact, right? It impacts policy. That's things like restrooms, things like private lockers, things like college campuses, right? So your definition, you're just saying, oh, they're just identified as women. That actually has an impact on public policy, and that's a problem that we have.
Which is based on objective definition.
I haven't given a definition, so I don't know how you're disagreeing with my definition.
How do you define a woman?
I haven't done that yet.
Okay, so define it.
That's not important to the conversation.
It absolutely is important to the conversation. You're saying that some people have different definitions of woman, so what is your definition of woman?
I wanted to argue on your definition.
What is yours?
What is a woman?
I think that a woman is anyone who identifies as a woman.
Okay, so... Okay, wait. So can I can... Expression is reality.
No.
So, So, hold up. So you think a woman, first of all, circular definition, you think a woman is anyone
circular.
who identifies as a woman, which would mean that you think that expression is reality. If you express yourself as something, you are that thing.
Well, what makes the woman a woman just because they are claiming to be a woman?
I think it's an internal sense of self that I don't have direct access to, so I have to believe them about what they're claiming.
So perception is reality.
No.
If my internal sense of self tells me that I'm a black man, is it true?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, really? So I can be a black man. Can I say the N-word?
What do you mean by black man?
I am a black man. Can I say the N-word?
What do you mean by black man?
I am a black man. My skin
I
is
am
brown.
asking
Can
you
see
what
it?
you mean by black man. In the same way that someone like Matt Walsh might ask someone, what is a woman? I'm asking you, what is a black man?
A black man is defined as a person with brown skin, I believe. Am I a black man? I identify as one.
I mean, your skin's brown. It's a shade of brown,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So I'm black. Can I say the N-word?
I'm not going to stop you.
Okay,
Go for it.
Would it be
Go for
socially acceptable for me to do that?
I probably wouldn't do it if I were you. But
Okay, great. Why is that?
You're allowed to.
Okay, but we can allow women. So the N-word is like a black person.
Why do you keep saying N-word and
Let me land my plane. Let me land my plane. The black word, the N-word, is a word that is exclusive to black people, right? White people generally, in social circumstances, cannot say this word, right? Just like women's bathrooms, in most situations, are for women, right? The N-word is for black people. Women's bathrooms are for women. So if you're saying that a man can pretend he's a woman and go into women's bathrooms, I should be able to pretend that I'm a black man and say the N-word.
I'm not saying
I don't think
pretending.
I should, by the way. I don't believe that.
I don't think anyone's pretending in that way.
What do you mean? They are pretending. They're putting on dresses, growing out their hair, and pretending they're women. That's exactly what's happening. They're not women.
So to be clear, you're making the claim that they are pretending that they are of the category of people that are capable of creating.
Yeah, like Leah Thomas, for example, who swam on the women's team with women while still having a penis after having just dated somebody on the women's swim team as a man. And breaking every single record in the team.
Okay, 12 months of hormone suppressing or none of that stuff. Just, hey, I identify as a woman, so now I'm going to compete against women, undress next to women.
Didn't she come in 5th place?
Didn't she win that?
Leah Thomas, I personally have friends who swam at Penn State.
Okay.
Who know for a fact that Leah Thomas broke every single record at the school on the women's swim team.
Okay.
And no, she didn't come in. She came in, I don't know what place. She won the NCAA championship, yeah. And snuffed Riley Gaines by like a fraction of a second.
Riley Gaines definitely came in 5th place in that race. I know that for sure.
The whole problem I have is that it's just, you said that because a person says they're a woman, they are now a woman.
No, I believe them that they're a woman.
Cam asked you, if he identifies as black, does that make him black, socially acceptable as black to do everything like that? And you're having trouble with that.
I'm really not. I asked him what he meant by a black man, and he really struggled until he said brown skin, and he has brown skin, so that would make him a black man by his definition.
You said that the definition of a woman is anybody who identifies as a woman. You can't use the word that you're defining in the definition.
Why not?
Because it's circular.
Why is that a problem?
Because so if you define...
Sorry, why is that a problem?
If you define a word with the word you're defining, we still don't know what the word you're defining is. That's the problem.
Why not? It's in the definition. I gave it to you.
Right, so if the definition of a woman is a woman...
Yeah.
Do you understand how we still don't know what a woman is?
It's possible.
Okay.
Depends on what you understand.
Is that all she wrote for that one?
Not necessarily. I'm still waiting for him to understand that there can be a difference between definitions.
I'm kind of curious. You say a woman is a woman, and we're still trying to figure out what is a woman. So maybe you can give us some characteristics. Okay, so what is your definition of what is a woman?
A human person who claims to be a woman.
Okay, so can you try to explain to me what is a woman without saying
They're
woman?
claiming they fit into the category of people known as women.
You're saying it's a human person who identifies as a woman.
Yep, they
so
claim they
I
fit
still
into the
don't know what
category
a
of
woman
people
is.
known as women.
I still don't know what a woman is.
Do you know what women is as a category?
What are they trying to pretend to be?
They're not pretending to be anything.
What are they identifying as? What are they
psychological
identifying as?
Women.
Okay, what is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies as being in the category of women.
Okay, what is that category? We still don't know what a woman is.
It's the category that consists of all people who claim to be in that category.
Okay. So what's the category?
Is that a problem?
We still don't know what
I already told you what the category was. It's the category of people who claim to be in that category.
Yeah, we still don't...
Listen.
That's what the definition of the category
I was
is.
trying to figure out what is this water bottle, and you kept telling me it's a water bottle. We don't go anywhere, right?
Okay.
So explain.
You're supposed to tell me, like, what does it do? Well, we look at it. Okay, the definition of a water bottle might be a plastic container that holds water.
Liquid.
That holds liquid. Yeah. There we go. It's a plastic bottle, it's a plastic object that within it contains liquid.
Do you think that women in water bottles might be disanalogous?
No, because we're just defining a word, right? They're just two words we're trying to define. They're not disanalogous.
But one might be way more complicated than the other, right?
It's not complicated at all. It's an adult human female.
Do you think that's not more complicated than a water bottle?
Okay, the car right there is pretty complicated. There's a lot of components to it. If you explain to me a car is a car, we don't get anywhere, right?
Sure.
There's nothing for debate.
Can you provide a definition of a car?
Almost feels bad faith in a sense because
what's the definition of a car?
Can I just finish my
sentence?
sentence?
Go for it.
It's almost bad faith in a sense because it kind of feels like you know that what you're saying is BS, but you keep saying it because you can't sit here and be serious that you keep telling me that a woman is a woman.
I never said
right?
that.
That's not even first grade stuff, right? Even first graders can say, what is a water bottle? They won't say it's a water bottle. That's what I'm getting from you. It's constantly the same thing. And I'm being genuine. I actually want to understand why you think somebody can just identify as a woman. But now I'm understanding it because anybody who acts like a woman can claim to be a woman, right? If they act like a woman, they can be a woman, right?
Sure.
So if I started to act like a woman, am I a woman?
If you claim to be one.
Okay, and then 2 minutes later, I'm gonna walk into that bathroom and use the restroom with women. Is that okay? I look exactly how I do. I just claim to be a woman. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, does that hurt anyone?
This is the biggest problem is like it makes women feel unsafe, and I don't think that in women's spaces they should feel unsafe.
So if no women complained about feeling unsafe about this, then would it be fine?
That's exactly the point. I think we should do it based on self-reporting, right? So if you look like David and you walk into the women's bathroom, people are probably going to feel unsafe and report you, right? But if you look just like any other woman and you're passing, which is very rare, it almost never happens, right? Nobody's going to report you. But if you look like David, people are going to feel unsafe and they report you, which will deter people who look like David from walking into the women's bathroom. Because guess what? David's not a woman.
Kim, how did people find out that Leah Thomas is not a biological woman?
Well, her big, broad shoulders, her penis is probably another big one. Her ability to swim faster than anyone on the women's team is probably another hint. The jawline, the facial structure.
Who cares? She identifies as a woman, or he identifies
You're
as
right.
a woman, so
yeah, you're
that
right.
makes him a woman, right?
You're right. You're totally right.
That's the problem that I have with that, is that if we're just going to play this game of like Cam saying, I just identify as a black person, that's going to have consequences. When you just simple it down that a biological person is just a woman, that's crazy to me. Like, a woman is a woman, and now I can claim to be a woman, and I can go do exactly what Cam just told you to do. That has impact.
I have a really hard time believing you're not bad faith when you keep using this argument that I said that a woman is a woman when that's never something I said.
You use the word woman in the definition of woman. You can't do that. It's
Why not?
circular.
Because
we still don't know what a woman is if you've used the word to define it.
Let's grant for a second that it's circular. What's the logical inconsistency with a circular definition?
Yeah, the logical inconsistency is that we still don't know what the word means if you use the word to define the word. That's the problem.
Why don't you? It's in the definition.
Again, it's trying to.
Do you go here?
Yeah, I go here.
Oh man.
What you're doing is you have decided that circularity.
Charlie Kirk was right that there's no reason for people to go to colleges. This is UT and this is happening here.
You have decided that circularity in a definition is a problem, but you haven't given an argument that that's the case.
Yes, because if you use the word in the definition of the word, you still don't know what the word means.
Why? It's in the definition.
But we don't know.
That's the point.
Like, a woman is a woman. Okay. What is a woman?
You're saying
what's the problem with circularity?
You're saying the word woman is defined as anyone who identifies as a woman,
as being
which
in the category
doesn't
of women,
explain what a woman is.
The category that they're
the category
is woman, women.
Sure.
It's just multiple women.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It's what does it mean? The category, or what is the definition?
Women.
Of
What
a
does
woman?
women mean?
What is women?
Yeah.
Like as a category.
Sure.
Okay. Women is a category of people who identify as being in that category.
Okay. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere.
I'm really struggling with understanding what the problem with this category definition is.
Okay. So a table is a table, right? A table is a table. We're never gonna figure out what this is, right? You're just gonna keep telling me that it's a table, and I'm gonna tell you I have no idea what is a table. Can you please explain to me what is a table? And you're gonna say, yeah, a table is a table. And I'm going to tell you, I still don't understand what a table is. You're going to tell me what's in a category of tables.
Sure.
So what is a table? What is a table?
Hold on, actually,
Can you explain to me what is a table?
This is really important, actually. I think I understand where this is going.
Ding, 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 finally.
No, I've understood that this is a problem for you. This is really good, okay? Do you have a definition of table?
It's not a problem for me to tell you what is a woman. You're the one that tells me a woman is a woman.
I can give you a definition of a table right now. A table is generally going to be something that is flat.
Generally?
You put things on and it has, you can just ignore generally. A table is something that is flat, you put things on it and it has 4 legs typically.
Okay, typically.
Typically is in the definition of a lot of words.
Okay. Do you think that women typically exhibit any individual trait?
I think that typically women fall into the sexual category capable of producing ova, and it's not just typically; it's always.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's always, then that's a different thing from typically. I thought you were addressing
Always,
something
yeah. I
that's
said typically sarcastically.
Okay, so a table, is that always or is that typically with 4 legs?
Typically with 4 legs.
Okay, typically with 4 legs. Okay, if nothing is sitting on a thing, is it not a table? Because that was part of your definition. Is it something that things are
Something
set
that
on?
is intended to put things on. That's what I said.
Okay.
Why the mental gymnastics, can I ask?
I'm struggling because that would make it like a chair, usually with 4 legs, also a table, right?
Don't put things on a chair. That's not the purpose of a chair. The purpose of a chair is to sit in.
You never put things on chairs?
That's not the purpose of it. The purpose is to sit on it.
Okay, well, are you an object? That could be put on a chair?
But nobody puts me on a chair. I put myself on a chair.
Yeah, well, okay, now
Why
you're
are you
contradicting
doing mental
yourself.
gymnastics?
You put yourself
So
on a chair.
ridiculous. You're jumping through all of these hoops because you can't define a woman, and you think that men, big burly bearded men, should be allowed to like go into women's spaces.
My point is that maybe definitions are a little bit complicated, and the only actual definition of a table that encompasses all tables and nothing else is the things that fit into the category known as tables.
Wait. If you start using a chair as a table, it's a table.
Okay. So if a biological male starts identifying as a woman, that's a woman?
No, because that's not the definition of a table.
No, you just said that a
the
chair can become a table if you start treating it as a table.
But the definition of a woman is much more firm. An adult human female,
What?
the definition of female is a person who falls into the sexual category capable of producing ova.
What makes that
Men
definition
cannot
much
fall
more
into
firm?
that category.
What makes that definition much more firm? What's the argument that it's more firm than the definition
Adult
of a table?
human female, right?
What makes that more firm?
You can't
I've
become,
heard that before.
You gotta let me finish.
I mean, I can.
You cannot fall into the sexual category of the sex that produces ova based on your choice. That is something you are born with.
Sure.
I'm positive men cannot produce ova.
Okay, I accept
Men
that.
do not fall into the sexual category capable of producing ova.
Yeah, that's fine.
Therefore, they will never be women.
Well, if they use your definition of a woman,
Find the hole.
do you have an argument that other definitions of woman should never be used?
I'm still curious. Do you think that woman is simplified down to just what a person feels like? So if they feel feminine that day, they are a woman?
No.
So we're still having a hard time of understanding what is the category of women. Can we get an explanation of characteristics that are aligned with
Sure.
that?
So let's imagine there's a group of people. Are we good there, or is that a problem already?
Yeah,
Okay. All of these people claim to be women. If I were to define women in this universe, disregarding everything else, if in this universe I said all of these people that claim to be women, we will allow them to identify as such. Everyone else is not a woman.
Okay.
Is that okay?
No, because if I'm going to walk around and saying I am black and you're going to affirm that I'm black, that is not going to suddenly make me black,
What if I said
right?
that black and women are disanalogous, that black might have other connotations that we wouldn't allow people to identify in this way?
Totally not true. Black is like being racial categories are actually more of a spectrum than gender.
Yeah, I agree. But you define black as having brown skin. I assume you mean darker brown than your skin.
Darker brown skin. Yeah,
Okay.
sure, whatever.
Yeah. So if that's what we're using is black and not like racial like categories, we're just talking about skin color. Then
You
that's
know what a
that's
black
different.
person is.
I mean, it depends on if you're talking about just based on
How
skin
about this?
color
How about this?
or
How
based
about
on
this?
like
How about this?
racial
Can I be a
culture
lizard?
or whatever.
I identify as a lizard. Can I be a lizard?
I mean, that depends on what you mean by a lizard, right?
Yeah, okay. A lizard is a small reptile with
Yeah.
a tail, 4 legs, a head, and a gizzard. Can
I'm
I
gonna
be
say
one?
no. You're not a lizard. No.
Oh, why can't I be a lizard? I identify as falling into that category.
I think that's disanalogous to the category
Why
of
is it
women.
disanalogous?
Because lizards
My species is
are...
part of my identity.
Sure.
Why can't I be a lizard?
Sure.
I
mean,
identify as one.
If you claim to be a lizard and it causes you distress, if people treat you as anything other than a lizard, I'm okay with you identifying as a lizard.
Should you respect me being called a lizard?
Yeah, if it hurts you otherwise.
Okay. Should everyone respect me being a lizard?
Yeah, I think we want to live in a world where people respect one another.
Should people be fired from their jobs for not calling me a lizard?
Probably not, no.
Oh, but they should be. Do you think they should be fired from their jobs for not respecting pronouns?
Probably not, no.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Perfect.
Okay.
So what is your contention here? Because we're not advocating for anything other than just that men are not women. Like,
Right.
I'm not trying to ban any sort. Actually, I would.
They can be this. They can't. We're not saying that they can't be this or that they can't identify as that. It's just I'm not gonna play in their delusion And I'm certainly not going to go to the workplace or change public policies in order to fit their definitions of that, because it has consequences. Again, the bathroom, the college sports are perfect examples of how I don't say you, but people saying that woman is just a woman is impacting everyone's life.
So when I identify as a lizard and you respect me as a lizard, are you lying?
Maybe.
That's a good question.
I might be. Because I think that lizard and woman are different categories. I think that might be a lie if I were
But
to
they're
tell you
both
you're a
pieces
lizard.
of identity. What's the difference between the two that makes you
I think
allowed
gender-
to identify as one and not the
Sure.
other, and one is true and one's not?
Sure, I think gender identity and species identity are two different things.
Why?
Well, like you said, they're two different parts of your identity, right?
They're both parts of the identity.
Yeah. Are they the same thing?
I don't see any meaningful difference that would mean you can change one and not the other.
Okay,
If you can change your sex, which is pretty biologically firm, why can't I change my species, which is also biologically firm?
Yeah, I don't think that transgender people are changing their sex.
Definition of a woman is an adult human female. Female is
Yeah.
sex. Female is defined as somebody who falls into the sexual category capable of producing ova. So they are trying to change their sex, right? Sex and gender are the same thing.
There's a reason why you refuse to talk.
You think they're trying
you refuse to talk about female, and we constantly keep talking about women.
I can talk about female. That's
okay,
fine.
let's talk about the biological side.
Okay, well, real quick before we change topics,
Yeah.
are you making the claim that transgender women are trying to produce ovum?
No. They're claiming that they are women, and women are people who are adult human females and fall into the sexual category capable of producing ova. So they are trying to be that. They claim that they are women, and that people must respect them as women when they, in fact, are not women. If I say I identify as a lizard, you should not respect me as a lizard because I'm not a lizard, right?
Okay.
I'm a human.
Okay, so the answer to my question was yes, you think that they are trying to argue that they can produce ovum.
No, they're not arguing that they can produce ova. They're arguing that they're women, and women are people who can produce ova.
They try to remove that, actually. They try to remove the idea that women produce ova. They try to completely remove that idea. That's why you're not talking about that.
What do you mean they tried to remove that idea?
They don't want us to focus on the idea that most biological women can produce ova. They want it
Most?
Huh? Yeah,
Most?
because there are sometimes incidents where biological women, can produce ova.